Hello and welcome to This is Metal with Tom Collier. Tom, we're dubbing today's episode Tom Collier and Friends like we did before because, that was actually the interview we did with some of the same people, Tom, where after that interview, it was so much fun. When I knew I was going to need a new co-host to do the show, after doing the interview, I reached out to you and we've been doing it ever since. And I've just loved doing the show since you've come on board. It's we totally revamped it and it's been nothing but fun. So I'm glad to have these guys all back on. So let's today we're going to be talking about, you guys have a show coming up, I believe November 11th, Veterans Day, if I'm not mistaken. It's a rock salute to America. So Tom, why don't you tell the folks a little bit about the upcoming show and where it's going to be and all that?
So it's going to be a Sharky's Event Center in Liverpool, New York. It's a salute to America. All veterans, active, retired military, gets in free, and their spouses do too. It's all about the military. We want to honor them, and that's why I brought together the great group of guys. The Crazy Neighbors are there, John Parker Band, Held Hostage, and our good friends in Scars and Stripes. And they're going to do a tribute to Metallica. I mean, it's going to be a great night of rock and roll. We're going to come out. We're going to hit them. We're also everybody's going to have a great time. So the veterans, we're asking them call ahead. We're giving them VIP table seating up front. The veterans all get VIP seating and stuff like that too. We're not going to mess around. We're not going to make them stand or anything. They can sit down, relax, and enjoy the show.
And let me ask you, Tom, because I know for as long as I've known you and been interviewing you over the years, you were very involved with veteran type of events like this and helping to raise money. I mean, I was curious, what got you interested in that to begin with? Was it knowing somebody that was in the service? Is it just something you always cared about?
So back in the late 80s, 90s, my brother always talked about Vietnam. He was in Vietnam and how badly he was treated. So in '89, I wrote the song "Show Me the Way Back Home," and actually I went and played it at the wall. And the first copy of that song on a cassette tape is in the Smithsonian Institute in Washington D.C. They picked it up and they put it in there. Yeah, it's one of the artifacts. I left it at the wall and they picked it up and put it in there. So it's an old version of it, but it was a cassette tape and this. It was really cool thing. But my brother being a veteran, then I started going to veterans functions. I started meeting so many veterans and talking to them, and from different Korean veterans, World War II, even Desert Storm. I mean, those guys went through a lot, and that's when I decided, you know what, I'm going to help these guys. I did it before it was cool to help the veterans. I was doing it back in the late 80s. Now everybody does it because they think it's the in thing to do. I did it before people even thought about helping the veterans.
Yeah.
It's near and dear to me, and they're the greatest people in the world. The veterans are. They deserve the salute to America.
Of course, we also have Dave Carroll, also from Held Hostage, the bass player. So, Dave, you've been with Held Hostage for a number of years now. What's it like when you get to take part in these type of events like Tom's talking about and helping to raise money for worthy causes like the vets and stuff?
It hits home because my brother was in the military. My grandfather was in World War II. My dad was in Vietnam, and I hit with a paintball gun when I was younger. So it hit me in the eye. So I could never join the military, but anything to do, they get paid the least and they give everything. People with the least give the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never. So I'm happy to be.
So let me ask you, Dave, having gone through that yourself and having at one point maybe the desire to join the military, not being able to, is that kind of what got you into music yourself and learning how to play the bass? And
pretty much. It was like I went to go and they're like, "Yep, you can't see, can't go," and I'm like, "It is what it is." And then I said, "You know what? Maybe I can just do music or write stories." And so you can write stories and tell it through music.
So if you don't mind me asking, since you brought it up, you say you can't see. Is it just out of a one eye or?
I got like a severe cataract. My right eye, it looks like looking through milk because when I was 22, we were playing with paintball guns. The first one hit the goggles, knocked it off. The second right in the eye, and the doctor's like, "You're lucky you even have an eye."
Talk about a life-changing event. I mean, and then you're not able to join the military, but you're able to help the vets out, raising money and playing concerts and stuff like that. That's got to be able to have the ability to play music. I mean, like you said, your life kind of changed when you had that injury. But how hard is it? I mean, it sounds like maybe a silly question. How hard was it to learn to play the bass guitar, with one eye? I imagine it's a lot different than most people,
It's depth perception's off, but as long as you look down and see the fret markers, you're pretty good. and I always thought bass was short for basic, you know. It's like, oh, but then if you make a mistake playing guitar, you can sing on purpose with a whammy bar or wah-wah pedal. If you pinch the wrong note by accident, it's like, it's terrible. So it's nerve-wracking and fun at the same time.
I mean, it gives me, excuse me for saying this, but it gives me an all new respect for you in the sense that, I mean, it's rock and roll, so it doesn't have to be perfect when you're up on stage playing music, but just kind of learning something, this new fact that we didn't know previously about you, Dave. And knowing that you get up there and you guys kick ass. I mean, that you have, you know, you do it in a way that you're flawless. People would not have any idea that you suffer this injury, except for the fact that you shared it with us today. Yeah,
thank you,
on, man. So way to go. That's what I'm trying to say. And
cool, man.
Yeah, and Bob Cunningham, you're once a part of our you're once again part of the show today, and we love having you back. Now, last time you're talking about your what's the name of your band again?
Crazy Neighbors.
Crazy Neighbors. I love that. It's such a great name. I mean, how many of us have had dealings with kind of those crazy neighbors that you wish you didn't have to deal with? But you were telling me that you're got a cover band. So for this show that you guys have coming up, how hard is it to come up with a set list? Because I think being the opening band has got to be cool because you guys kick off the show, and I imagine a lot of the tunes you guys will be playing are you know, kind of a soundtrack to so many people's lives, if you know what I mean. These are songs they've heard on the radio.
Yeah, we try to got to get the crowd up and moving and dancing for these other guys, you know.
Yeah. And John Parker, you know, I loved having you on the show the last time, John, where you did an episode with me and Tom all on your own, talking about you know, getting ready to do a CD release party, and you're not, people are like, oh, why is this guy in a show called This Is Metal? But first of all, as we explained last time, you're a great musician in your own right. You're great friends with Tom, and Tom was telling me what an impressive show you put on. So I think that's, again, kind of a cool aspect of the show you guys are doing, that all the acts on the bill are very different from one another. You all kind of bring something different to the table.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
It's just cool, man.
Yeah. And so
I love it.
Yeah, so you know, you just released your new CD, John. You told me it's been selling pretty good, and will people be able to buy the new CD at the upcoming show?
Yes. We'll have the CD there. We'll have the T-shirt, and it's just fun, man. Just gonna be like, yeah, woo.
Now are you playing this show with your solo band or the Parker Brothers?
No, we don't know. We're the John Parker band gonna be rocking this one out, man.
Okay. Yeah. And so you'll be playing mostly, I imagine, the stuff from a new CD, right?
Yeah, but we'll probably end up playing the whole like CD, and then we'll throw in maybe a Stones, you know, maybe a Stone or maybe a Hendrix song. We'll like, you know, do most of the CD because we're kind of excited about a couple of cuts on there.
Yeah, and I don't want to give away. Yeah, I don't want to give away surprises, Tom. But because you guys will each band will be doing their own a set of their own. But any chance there might be any kind of like jam session at the end of a show?
If I was a betting man, I'd say yes.
Woo! Here we go, man.
I would say there'll probably be some guys on there. But Jason, I want to tell you something. Bob Cunningham's band Crazy Neighbors, they have been raising tons of money for veterans too. Ever since I've known Bob, that's another thing about Bob's band. And they were just honored through the 60 for 60 Mohawk, who, was it today or yesterday, was honored as the Onondaga County in Syracuse gave it a day for 60 for 60, and Bob was part of that. Just so you know.
So talk a little bit about that, if you could, Bob. I mean, that's you seem like a very humble guy, but that's a great thing to get that honor.
I grew up young and in the 60s, so I was around when Mom was on. You know, I hit home as a kid. I started Patriot working. I was with the Patriot Guard Riders, showing my support there back, I don't know, 10 years ago or so. Did Aaron Gay did on her father, he's Mohawk Indian. And we did 60 miles, and it was exciting
Mhm.
and
And
everything. And she come up to me after, she goes, well, what do you think about doing this every year cycles and donating to the veterans?
yeah,
And it's like, yeah, sure, let's do this. And ground floor, I was like a back seat advisor.
yeah. I mean,
She's donated, I don't know how many tens of dollars to the veterans over the last 10 years.
yeah.
Um, you know, it's a great event. Like Tom said,
Yeah, what I love about stories like this, Bob, is you guys are all very humble. I mean, first of all, to put on a show like this is pretty awesome. Second of all, to hear from Tom and yourself that you've done so much to raise money for the vets over the years. I mean, it shows that you really have a passion for it. Yeah,
yeah, I do. I do. Anybody put their life on their line?
yeah, yeah. And at the same time, you guys are so especially you, Bob. You're really humble about it. The fact that Tom had to bring it up, like, and the whole point of why we're doing this show today is the simple fact to let people know about this show coming up at Sharky's on November 9th, so people will come out to the show. But it's not like you're on here to pat yourself on the back. Oh, look at all the money we raised for the vets. You're doing it out of really the kindness of your heart, and because you guys really believe in it.
Absolutely. All the bands that have came on here are all just they're all just such great guys. I'm so proud of everybody that's playing this show. And John Parker, Bob Cunningham, the Crazy Neighbors. I mean, when you reach out to those guys, they come and they're ready to rock. They're ready to give it all. And they believe in America. They believe this is the greatest country in the world. We all believe that.
Yeah.
And to help the veterans and things like that. And I like Dave Carroll. Dave is my bass player. He's a madman on stage, man. When you see him, and you'll see him in California, those shows we're playing out there.
Sure.
Jason,
Can't
you're
wait.
gonna be surprised. He's mild mannered right here, but when he gets on stage, he's a madman.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
got to look. I mean, he's never nonstop energy. I love playing with Dave. And we're
Animal.
doing a couple
But yeah,
lineup changes.
I mean, even during this interview today, he's kind of low key, but I'm sure when you get him on stage, you're like, oh, okay, Dave, calm down.
And that's what you got to look out. It's like, holy cow, Dave! No,
Yeah.
he's an animal, but we love it, man. We love Dave, and I'm happy Dave's part of the band. Like I say, we're doing a couple lineup changes, and people are going to be surprised, but it's all good. It's all for the better. Everything we're doing is for the betterment of the band. And this show right here, we're just so happy to honor the veterans. John Parker, man, he's a great guy. Bob Cunningham, the Crazy Neighbors, our good friends, Scars and Strapes. I mean, everybody that's coming out there. I mean, we're bringing in the drummer from Man of War. Rhino's coming. And he couldn't make it tonight, but he's coming in to drum. It's all patriotic people that believe in America and believe that we are the greatest country in the world, and we will remain being the greatest country in the world.
Let me ask you, Tom. In this crazy divided nation we live in, when you put on such events like this, it really is for the good of the vets. But do you ever get any crazy people trying to protest the events or?
Well, we've had naysayers, but we don't.
Don't let them knock you down, right? Yeah.
We don't even give them the time of day. We just whatever, believe what you want. I mean, we've been attacked on social media before about our events for veterans and things like that.
Wow. Did you ever think you could get attacked or something like that? Wow.
Yeah. People can't agree on free beer.
And then we talk about, I hate to bring it up, but we talk about living in such a divided nation, yet you want to talk about diversity, look at the diversity of people that are on our show today, Tom. I mean, and again, people allow John Parker band, that's not a metal band. It doesn't even matter, because everybody's coming together for a good cause. And I think, anybody that's got kind of that mindset or that perception, I challenge them to go check out the show if you're in the area and because not only are you helping raise money for a good cause, but also you're going to be entertained. You're going to get a chance to see maybe a really diverse group of bands and players, and you may leave the show very kind of like with the feeling, you know what? Oh, these guys kicked ass. They're different kind of bands, but man, I was entertained.
Hey, when I first met John Parker, I think I told you on our interview.
Yeah.
He was putting up, he was doing all these videos on Facebook, and I said, that guy reminds me of me. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
I reached out to him and I said, John, why don't you come to this? And when you see him on stage, man, he gives it all he's got, man. And
Yeah.
Mick Jagger's got nothing on this dude, man. This guy gets down. He lays it all out on the stage. I love it. I love it. He's a great rock and roll rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
The same thing with the Crazy Neighbors. They come out and they just give it to you. You know,
Yeah.
they're one of the best bands around too. I love the Crazy Neighbors. Love Edmund. I love John Parker band. That's why people, when they come out to, they go, "Wow!" The first time I had John on stage with us, everybody's like, "Where did you find this guy?"
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
up
you
there
know,
rocking.
we had John on the show the last time. I mean, his sense of humor came out. He was such a funny guy. I thought, man, we were laughing all the way through the episode.
Yeah, Gil, man, we was having some fun, man. That's what it's all about, though. Shoot, just have fun and just freaking man, it's like one step at a time and just enjoy life, man. That's why I wrote that song, Flip the Switch, baby.
Yeah, so John, when you're up there on stage, like you're rapping it all between the songs with the audience. You getting them, you cracking jokes up there.
Well, yeah. Sometimes, but it's almost like I just want, like, just pure energy and just everybody to be like.
That's it. Your energy. That's a good word. Energy just comes alive.
It's just 5 minutes of just like, hey, I'm 30 years old again, man. Woo!
Yeah, music will keep you young, and that's really what it's all about. And Dave, how excited are you to be playing with the legendary Rhino that night?
I'm wicked excited.
What
Any
a
part
rhythm
of
section that night, huh?
I got to play with Ross. Now I get to play with Rhino.
Wow.
That's
Nice.
wicked excited.
Yeah, Ross is playing with one of my favorite drummers now in the Dictators, Albert Bouchard. Yeah, from Blue Oyster Cult. So I love those guys. Yeah.
Just saw them like 2 years ago. They blew me away. It's like you keep forgetting how many hits they have. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. And so, Tom, I also know I seen up on the ad that you put on Facebook that, of course, this is a show being put on by Fire Rock Music Group. Now, let me ask you: is this the first show the label is putting on?
It was, yeah. We had a different one we were putting on, but we had to cancel due to lightning. So we can play through snowstorms, windstorms, rainstorms, hurricanes, but when the lightning comes down, we can't do that. And we had a lightning warning, so we shut down. So yes, this will be the first show, and nothing's stopping us. At this point, if Dave gets electrocuted, he's all right. Okay, right, Dave?
Survive that.
Well, Dave,
If survive, maybe his eyesight, maybe be like Spider-Man, his eyesight comes back. I don't know, man.
Hey, Dave, if you get electrocuted, I think what Tom's trying to say is he's got a backup waiting to take your place. But all joking aside, Dave, let me ask you, before we went on the air today, you were sharing me, you want to show folks your Vinnie Vincent guitar? Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty funny. Yeah. He's got it. That's it.
Dave, say something so you come on the Dave, say something so you come on the screen.
Woo!
There you go.
Nazi song. I wrote
Twisted.
it out into it all right now. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Freaking, why can't I think of his name? Viper guitar. What's
Jackson
his name? Viper.
Oh, not Tom. What the hell is his name? Oh God.
20 minutes. Oh, she's gonna kill me. Built for ankle too.
Wow.
So Dave, bring that guitar with you because I want to play it at the show.
I will.
Bring it with you. I want to play it at the show. Bring it.
Hitman.
Yes.
From
As you're bringing it out, you guys should make some kind of like a joke, like all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, the legend himself.
Bring the guitar, Dave. I'll definitely play it.
Yeah.
We'll rock a tune with it.
Tom, you were showing me that night because your new album, Held Hostage album, probably going to be coming out early next year, right? And you're sharing me, you guys are probably going to be playing the title track off of that, right?
Yes, we are. We're going to be playing Rescue Me off this. Yes, absolutely. The version of that.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yep. We're gonna and when we hit California, we're probably going to be doing probably 3 to 4 songs off from that. Right now, we got 3 nights in California that we're really happy about. And more people keep calling us to play. Well, knowing we're out there, it's really crazy that, like, we're getting calls saying, "Hey, can you play this night? Can you play that night?" It's like, Dave and I tomorrow will be going over the schedule. When he comes out, we'll be out there after we're done rehearsal. We'll be going through the schedule, but I think people are going to be really happy with the new version of Held Hostage. We come out there because we're going to kick ass, man. And This Is Metal is one of our songs.
That's right. That's right.
When the show starts. Yep.
Just in case you guys are wondering what exactly Tom is talking about, I've been wanting for the longest time to have, like so many of these great internet shows, to have a theme song. Of course, me not being a musician myself, that's a little hard. When Tom came on board, I said, "Hey, Tom, what would you think about your band Held Hostage creating a theme song for our little show here?" Now, Tom, this is 3 years after we kind of premiered our little show, but it's very different from what it originally was, like a radio podcast, and it's turned into this video thing that we're doing now, where we interview guests. Now, let me ask you, what can you tell people about the This Is Metal theme? I mean, what does it sound like? Can you give us that a little bit?
Absolutely. It's old rock and roll, Black Sabbath, grinding out, bam, this is metal.
Yeah. Now, do you think, you told me you and Dave are going to be working on that song probably within the next day or so now.
Tomorrow.
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 So can you tell me, like, do you think people will be hearing that before the end of the year, or probably just after the first of the year?
After the first of the year, we may premiere it at the NAMM show with Metal Allegiance. We may come out and just grind them and let them know we're here to rock, man.
Yeah.
The new album, Dave will tell you the new album is the best stuff we've ever had. I think it's the best.
And that's really saying something, right, Dave? Because I mean, like when I first started interviewing Tom, it was for the Epic album, and I was pretty impressed. And then it's almost like I was telling Tom, when I heard the latest album, Great American Rock, it was kind of like when Def Leppard put out Pyromania. How the hell are they going to top that? But they did.
Yes. Well, the new one, the third one's going to be The Charm. It's going to be awesome. So I'm wicked excited. And I just want to say his name is Jeff Heitman. I just wanted to say that I didn't forget. But he also built the bass guitar I use, and I'll be using it on live, and I'll be using it on the new record. But he's an incredible guitar builder. And like I was saying, he built for Dave Schenkel too.
Yeah. And so let me ask you all, like when you do a show like this, how much rehearsal goes into? I mean, I imagine most of you know your songs.
Much possible.
Yeah.
Did that come through?
No. What did you say?
As much as possible.
Yeah. And Tom, let me ask you. You mentioned like you guys don't like play out every weekend, obviously, like a lot of bands do. You don't really. You're at a point in your career where you don't really have to. But when you're kind of selective about getting the good shows and picking the shows you do, when you do have a show, do you think more people come out because you don't play every single weekend?
Absolutely. So when we play, I built this into be a concert band. So when we play, when Held Hostage plays, it's an event. And like I say, the West Coast loves us, the East Coast loves us. We'll be doing a nice tour. And I mean, we're really excited. We've been offered 16 states starting in February, starting in Texas and finishing Florida. But yeah, it's all about the event. We're coming out there, and the new record, I think, is going to catapult us to where we need to be. I mean, our last album, 9 out of 12 songs hit the Billboard charts.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, 10 out of 12 on this album is going to hit, if not 12 out of 12. And
So let me ask you, Tom, how involved is David involved in the writing on the new album?
What's that?
Was Dave involved with any of the songwriting on the new album?
Dave's helping with songwriting and arrangements with me. Yeah, absolutely. That's why he'll be out here tomorrow. We changed up Dave and I have been working together very well. I'm very happy with Dave.
And I imagine that might, believe it or not, like give it a little bit of a different sound to this upcoming album than the previous two, because for the previous two, you did a lot of the writing, I know.
Well, I did all the writing on the previous two, but they always add their own flavor to it.
Yeah.
And with this album, it's going to be a lot different. There's like, we've got songs that are like Pantera meets Iron Maiden to a Southern rock tune that are, a love song from Held Hostage. Believe it? you know,
Yeah.
and it's the straight ahead rock. I mean, it's a very diverse. It's a very diverse album. I think everybody's going to be.
I can't wait here now. Now, let me ask you, Tom, too. Also, the other thing about Held Hostage is, like you said, different sounds, and it seems to be a progression with each of the albums, which I really dig.
Yep, the music evolves, and that's what it has to do to survive in this business. You know, not just because I'm the president of a record company.
No.
The music is evolving, and people are hearing it, and I mean, Great American Rock is still selling out.
Sure.
Now people are going back and buying Epic. They never heard Epic before. You know, people are buying our old album, Fallen Brothers, that was recorded in my home studio.
Yeah.
We're going,
Wow.
things are just flying off the shelves. We're so excited about that.
And now I know the previous two, you had Tim Ripper Owens doing all the vocals, and you had a couple other guests like Joe Lynn Turner. And you shared me that you might have a couple other guests on the new album, but will you be doing primarily the vocals this time around on the album?
No, I won't actually. I'm going to probably have, I've got at least 3 singers I know of, but one of them's going to be like the main singer. I'll tell you right now, Bill Ali is going to sing most of the album. Great singer. You'll meet Bill out in California when we're out there. But yeah, and plus I've got 2 special guest singers that people are going to be really happy. Really excited to bring them on.
You kind of enjoy that when you, because I know when you guys do a live show, you got the added responsibility of, unless you have Ripper showing up or somebody of playing the guitar and singing.
I only sing on a necessity. It's all about for the good of the band. But I would rather have a front man up there. You know, Dave actually sings too. No, Dave on bass sings with us too now.
Okay.
Dave's really worked it. He started off as a bass player. Now he sings too, and everything's working out great. I think that the band has evolved to where I'm really excited about it.
And so, Bob, do you have anything special for planned for your set that night?
No, just gonna
Rock the house, huh?
rock it out. And
Yeah. So do you want to let people know, Bob, where they can find you online?
I got a Facebook page, Crazy Neighbors, and it's Neighbors is spelled NEIGHBOURS.
Wow. I really enjoyed doing this, but we're gonna have to wrap it up, guys. The show's about ready to otherwise we get cut off. But it was great having you guys. I just want to say you guys are all welcome back anytime, as Tom will tell you.
Thank you.
Bob and John and Dave. Held Hostage.
Thanks for
Wow,
having us.
I love that. What a way to promote the band, Dave. So
It was their first album.
everybody go out to Sharky's on Veterans Day, November 11th, right, Tom?
Yes, absolutely. Doors open at 5, music starts at 6, and it's over at 10:30.
Okay, this is metal.
Woo! Yes,
Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Hey, guys.